Okay, we're going to do one last thing here with Lightroom before we start doing more photo shoots, and let's work with the retouch tool. So I have a photo, and I'm going to have this available to you so you can practice on this one. We're going to go to Develop, and the tool we're going to pick is this one right here. It's our Clone Spot Removal tool. There's a keyboard shortcut of Q. And here's how it works. We got the same sort of thing happening with our adjustment brush. So you have size, you have feather, which is how faded it is from the inside to the outside. Probably start with this at about 60, and then opacity is how much it covers up. So you can even adjust that if the cloning or healing is too much. So we have options up here between clone and heal. Clone moves the pixels and heal kind of blends them. I think you can see, I'll do a couple of quick ones here just on some blemishes. Then I'll try some more challenging areas like this watermark. The watermark is probably going to be a clone on the white areas. This is going to be a really tough pattern. I probably wouldn't mess with this. And we'll see if we can remove this strap right here. And normally we do this stuff in Photoshop, but we're going to see Lightroom does a pretty decent job with that. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. I'm at 1:1. You might want to go all the way into 3:1. Now it's really, really tight. So you can see a lot of, little blemishes here. And we probably want to clean up for a fashion type image, or just because, just because someone has the cold and has some cold sores doesn't mean that they should show up in the photograph. So all we're doing here is I'm just clicking, and it's finding a new sample area. Now you notice that there's probably not a lot of difference you've seen with the clone. Let's switch over to heal and see how this differs. Let's grab one of these up here, and I'd say for facial things, you probably want to keep it on heal as opposed to clone. So again, it's just a matter of painting around. Go ahead and move our subject down here. Like here's a piece of stray thread or something we want to get rid of. And it's just a matter of going through and finding as many blemishes as you want and just removing those just with clicking. That seems to be some pretty good settings over here. Okay, so now for something a little bit more challenging, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, just get this, see if we can work this watermark over here. So the watermark is, I'm going to click on clone this time, probably bring the feather down a little bit, but you don't have to. You can play with that and see what works for you. I'm definitely going to make the brush bigger. And with this version of Lightroom, we can paint around here, and it should find another area. So again, it just locates a second area. Now there's usually a white outline around it, so that's why we can't see that in this case. So now I'm going to go up next to this fabric here. So I'm probably going to want to take the feather down to Zippo so I can keep it nice and tight. And again, with the mouse, I can just paint. Got to make sure it only grabs the white area, which it's done, so it's pretty much gotten rid of that. You can do the same thing here. There's no point, since it's entirely white background, of doing any feathering on this rest of the watermark. And again, maybe I'll try one on her scarf there just to see what happens there. I wasn't being super careful. And you can actually move this around if it's not healing just the way you want to. So there, I need to move this in a little bit here. And that's better. That's good. Let's take a look here just for fun and see what this will do if we try to take out like that Y. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. I think it's maybe somewhat doable since the fabric is so wrinkled here. And I think it's probably better to maybe do one letter at a time. See how that matches. You get some weird pattern matching that'll make the photo look a little bit strange. Now there's So there's a really good example right there of a complete bad selection. It, for some reason, thought, well, I'm just going to grab this area down here. Let's move it back to some place a little more reasonable there. And you see, you do have some edging there. So let's do this. Let's delete that. Let's try this with a bit of a feather and see what happens. I'm going to move this up to about 30. Let's get that. Let's just do the E. And again, for some reason, it's not too bright. Wants to go ahead and grab that. Okay. Let's get the K from Kelby. That's kind of okay. And let's get the I there. Now, you'll know where all the edit marks are. Someone looking at it won't know the edit marks. I think that's pretty decent. Getting rid of that. Shoot, we might as well get rid of the rest of this over here and really clean this up. Do a complete job. All right. There's a little bit of a fade there. This will probably take care of it. And then we'll just grab an area. Yep, right to the skin. Very smart. So you can move it here anywhere, but notice that there's a little bit different light up in this scarf area. So in that case, we're probably going to want to just pick a spot up there. And again, we get rid of it, that goes away. You can see we got a couple of little stray marks right here that we want to get rid of. Let's just go ahead and take that out. And let's get rid of that. Okay, I think we're good. Now, for the grand finale here, let's go ahead and work on this area here. I'm going to zoom all the way in. And this is going to be a challenge here. So we're going to definitely move over and go back to heal again. And we're definitely going to want to feather that quite a bit. We want 100% opacity. I'm just going to kind of experiment and see what I'm going to get there. Now looking at that, that's what healing does. Let's switch it over to clone, and that's what clone does. So to me, I don't know. I think cloning is doing a better job. So you're going to have to judge that for yourself. One thing that's nice about getting some different samples here is we're going to have the ability to grab some areas of skin so it doesn't look completely cloned in. All right, so I'm going to cut the feather down right here because we're getting close to an edge. We're going to do that. And now we got to get this part, but we got to get the indentation in the skin that this made. Normally, this is easy work for Photoshop, hard work for Lightroom, but this is a real simple tool and it works relatively well here. And we'll keep the feather about the same. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over this. I should maybe make a smaller brush. Because what I have to do is I have to find a patch that's going to work up here. Now that's not going to work. You know what? Let's delete that. And let's first of all go with a lot smaller. Smaller cut at it. It's better. And let's clean this one up right here. Let's go work our way across. And let's again I'm going to go ahead and see that's pretty bad. If I zoom out on this, it's not going to be pretty. No, not really. Okay, so it doesn't work the best all the time. If I took more time on that, it would probably work a lot better. I almost feel like I should go over this again and then get back to you in the video. So I want to try to rework this, and I'll rework it really fast and see what we can do.